My name's Michelle, and this is my husband Woody, and this is Buster. We live in Washington State. We're both still working. The way we use the van is mostly for shorter trips. I think the longest we've been out in the van is 2 weeks. You could spend so much time just visiting things in Washington, from the desert to the beach to the mountains.
Yeah, we're more like weekend warriors.
Yeah, we do a lot of weekend stuff. This has become therapeutic for me. He still travels for work, so a lot of times I'll take the van out, just Buster and I, and we'll go to a campground.
We'll go on a 3-day or 4-day trip here or there. The longest trip, yeah, we did go on was probably down to Idaho. We went to Boise to see some family, and so we got to stop on the way. Michelle's always great at picking out these unique stops, these places to stay overnight.
We enjoy visiting anything on the coast. I love being at the beach, which is kind of weird because he's not necessarily a beach guy. He'd rather sit in the shade, and I'm out chasing the sun. I feel like the things that you don't plan turn out to be the best things.
Yeah, it's always, hey honey, there's this up here. Let's stop there and check this out. And so we do a lot of that just off the cuff, like, all right, I guess we're staying the night here. So all of our trips along the coast have always been good because Buster loves to run into the water. He loves to run around the sand. He just loses his mind.
Yeah, thank goodness for the outdoor shower.
You know, one of the great things too about the van is that you can park it anywhere. We've been at some sites where it was only tents were allowed, but we were able to camp in some of those places, which opened up a lot of different places.
So we're in Tampa today. We came down for the RV show, which has been amazing. We've had so much fun. We started last Friday. We both got caught up at work, and so we didn't get out as soon as we wanted.
I think we got out around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, and we needed to be at the factory in Cincinnati on Monday morning to get some upgrades done to the van. So he drove a lot of hours because we did
10 states in those 2.5 days.
But that's another thing with the van. If you really need to go, right? Like we could just pull over and make a sandwich really quick, or grab something to eat on the road, stop at rest stops. When we get tired of driving, pull over, go to sleep, wake up, start driving. Completely different than if we were trying to stay at hotels or something.
That drive, we drove it through a lot of different climates, like everything from snow to ice, wind, storms. But because the van suspension is so good, and then it's all-wheel drive, we didn't have any problems. I mean, the vehicle handled well throughout the whole trip. This is probably the longest trip as far as distance-wise that we've ever driven. And so the way that the van held up throughout the route, is spectacular.
Sorry, I just wanted to add an important to that because I'm about like interior comfort. We were also very warm when it was like 20 degrees outside, super comfortable for sleeping. And then once it got warmer here, you know, the air conditioning and the, you know, being able to open everything up. I need the creature comforts too.
The climate control inside the vehicle with the AC, with the heat, all of it is actually top notch. A lot of times she's working and I'm driving, and because we have Starlink on here, there was zero service, but yet we were still able to have communication.
Yeah, that's the blessing and the curse feature, right? It was when we were driving across Montana. Our cell phones were in SOS mode, but I was on my laptop on Teams meetings. I think in terms of the van overall, we researched for a long time.
Yeah,
like
20 years.
Really an obnoxious amount of time. We watched all the YouTube videos. We went to so many shows. It's a big purchase. So we wanted to make sure that we had everything that we needed. I think some of the game changers for us for remote were things that when we were looking at other companies, we knew we would have to upgrade, right? Like the bigger fuel tank. We knew we wanted to do that. Well, we bought the Aegis version. We got the large fuel tank. The water, that was a big one, right? You don't usually get the 30 plus gallons of water on a camper van. So we knew we would want to update that.
Suspension.
The suspension
Was a big one.
The Starlink. We have friends and now kind of a community of campers, and we watch folks throw their Starlink out in the ground. They got to move it here, move it there. And we're like, oh, there's a tree. We'll pull up 3 inches and have have complete access. I don't know if there's anything that we were surprised about because we were so anal about researching everything. I mean, I feel like, I don't know what most folks do when they're getting ready to do this, but going so far as to rent different vehicles from different companies to make sure we were getting what we needed and wanted.
I will say that the whole team at Remote Vans have been great. They've been absolutely, it's beyond what we thought, the level of support. It's our Remote Vans family, you know, for us, right? And so, because we've been with so many different functions with them, you know, as far as our friendships, and it's grown substantially just with all the things that we do with them, so.
That is an unexpected perk, right? You buy a van and you don't think that you're gonna create these long-lasting friendships with the company owners and the salespeople. And we have, you know, it's nice. We get little texts like, we just bought a new house. Oh, we love your house, congratulations. You know, just, so that was completely unexpected.
I think too, the level of service that we get, like if there's a question, if there's something that we're having a problem with, I can't tell you the number of times Michelle was probably on the phone going, hey, I'm not quite sure about this. This is doing this. What do I got to do? And someone always picked up. Someone always answered the phone. It didn't matter what time of day or at night it was. Someone would pick it up and walk us through a troubleshooting process for something that we didn't quite understand.
When you're a new van owner, there's so many things, right? You're just like, you get your walk around and they tell you everything, and then you get in the van and you're like, oh crap, I don't know.
We should have asked him about this. Because we didn't even think, because you're so excited, right? And Darren coming out and actually was the one that gave us the key. They did our walk around and familiarization with the van. I mean, he was awesome. But yeah, it's like, there's a lot of things you don't know that you don't know until it goes, oh, that's not working, or this is not, there's something not quite right about this. And then you call somebody and they walk you through that process. Oh, you just got to turn this switch on. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first few months of van ownership, I think I really got to know the service manager, and not because we were having that many issues, but just there's so many things you just don't know. You know, you bought a home on wheels, and you got to figure out how to run the HVAC system and the water system. And
now we're like, all right, let's try this. Let's try this. All right, let's call for help.
In terms of the safety aspect, because a lot of friends and family are like, what are you doing? You're out by yourself. It's just you and the dog. One of the features that brings me a lot of comfort is the lighthouse feature. So if I hear a noise outside or something's going on, I can hit that lighthouse feature and all the lights on the whole van come on. So the big lights out front, on the side, on the back, and I can immediately check and see what's going on. Or if that's gonna alert other campers or other people in the area too, right? If all of a sudden my whole campground is lit up.
Well, I think that's a great thing too about the Starlink, right? Is that she always has the ability to call 911 or call me or call somebody, right? If there's an issue, because she has it on all the time.
It's also fun for me because there's a lot of women campers that are out by themselves, and it builds this additional community, you know? And so like when I first started doing it, like these ladies came over and I think we had a cocktail or something, and they're like, you should set another chair out. Never only have one chair sitting out. You need to have two chairs so it looks like there's somebody with you, right? Like getting the tricks of being out by yourself as a woman. So couples have differing ideas of what you need in a van, right? Like a perfect example is I was insistent that, okay, we can get a van, but it's got to have a dedicated bathroom space. Like I was just adamant. It had to happen. And he's like, no, you don't really. And the salespeople are like, you don't really. How much time do you spend in the bathroom? And I just thought it was a necessity. And so we came up with the idea of renting a couple of different vehicles to solve that problem, right? And after we rented, I was like, oh, you're right. We've been in the van for 3 days and I haven't used the bathroom. I haven't taken a shower. You know, we were at a campground or you stop at a rest area. So that helped us transition to figuring out what layout was going to work for us. So you can see what it feels like to be in van. That helped us a
Yeah.
lot.
When we first started looking at them, we were talking about, okay, what are the must-haves? And so we would go back and forth. So let's go rent this. This has, you know, X, Y, and Z in it. So let's go try it and see if it works. And I will tell you that we used our Van Holla seat more than we would ever use the bathroom.
Yeah, that was a trade.
Hands down, which is why we have the, you know, the plush pillows behind there so that we sit it like it's a couch.
We are absolutely in love with our van. We have never had a doubt that we made the right decision. You know, even in those times when we're saying, oh my gosh, I can't get anything going. Well, how do we do this? Because we can call on the spot. And as I said at the beginning, it's become like therapeutic for me to just go out, get away.
Yeah.
We love our remote van.
We love it. Yep.